H-Town, what's up? You know what time it is. It's time for the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's #1 urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatter, alongside Jim Hicks and sometimes Chris Walker, coming to you live from Houston, Texas, but we broadcasting all over the world via Facebook Live and YouTube Live. And it is Wednesday. Oh, wow. Wednesday morning. Great Wednesday. I got something to share with y'all in just a second. Yeah, it's a great Wednesday. I'm gonna tell you why. Let me know when Alfio gets on here. I want to talk to him, but let me shout out to my starting five. We got in the YouTube. We got. Oh no. I'm sorry. It's Women Rock Wednesday. I'm sorry. No dudes out the way. We got Mindy Collins in the building. We got Karima Williams in the building. I ain't got but two pretty ladies. That's it. That's all I got. Let me see. Hold up. I think I saw somebody else. Mindy was on here earlier. I saw Mindy. Who else? Okay, what's up, Chadwick? Chadwick, glad you're here, baby. You gonna like this today. We gonna get down. We gonna get down today. Let's see where else I'm at. Yeah, that's it. Let me see. We got Mindy, right? We got Mindy. We got Karima. I got Mindy up there. Mindy, Karima. And that's it. Where my girls at? I give them a minute. I give them a second, y'all. Had a unique, holiday. I visit some friends, visit family, But what was unique, I got a chance to play this game I never heard of. But I excelled at the game and won plenty of gifts by excelling in this game. Y'all, and this game is called We the People. We the People. I don't know if y'all ever heard of it. It's a word trivia game. Let me see. I'm gonna put it up on the board. Here it is. This word trivia game. It's a trivia game for equality. And they're telling all the stuff that people happen in history. Fannie Lou Hamers, the Sojourner Truths, the A. Philip Randolphs, the Martin Luther Kings, and y'all in this thing, Adam Clayton Powell was not in this thing. But they were asking these questions and I was just tearing them up. And I did so well at my friend's house. I said, let me take it home. So we did it the next day, same thing. And what I didn't get involved because it was just not easy for me, but I've been studying this stuff. So, but it's called We the People, ages 12, one or more players. I guess it's by somebody named by Rangeland, Junior Ranger. I don't know what that is. But it is, and I don't know where they got it at. I think they got it on the Travels Museum or something like that. We the People, great game. You get the little cards, and you have a one person up there. Oh, look at it! Hey, Johnny Arnett, Johnny, I killed him. I killed him, Johnny. I killed him. I can't tell you no lie, y'all. This people were looking at me like, wait a minute. I ain't never heard of none of this stuff before. I mean, it was fun, but it's a great game. Everybody got it. Johnny, where you get it at, Johnny? Because I got to give them people theirs back. I got to get another one. But share the show, everybody. Thumbs up if you're on YouTube. Like and share the show if you're on YouTube. But it's a great game. And then we played this game. You get kind of tricky now. Play this game. Then we played this game called Left, Right, Center. I didn't play this. Boy, this thing here can be dangerous. Left, right, center. They play with dollars. And you put it out. You put it, you throw the little dice. It's 3 dice. And it'll tell you on the dice is you're going to be left, right, center. Or if it's got a dot, you don't do nothing. But if you got left, right, that means you got to give the person to your left $1, the person to your right $1. Then you got to put one in the center. If not, if you got all dots, you don't have to do nothing. It is crazy. You can You can't tell me Clay Powell ain't have. His name is Clayton, Adam Clayton Powell. Adam Clayton Powell, and go look him up so you won't be saying and pronouncing his name wrong. King Sticks. If you were to go look him up, you'll see why I'm always talking about it. Evidently, you ain't picked up a book. And when I tell y'all this stuff I want y'all to go pick up some. Don't just listen to me, King Sticks. Then you would know how to pronounce the man's name, Clay Powell. Now it's Adam Clayton Powell. Darwin, just like you want somebody to pronounce your name right. But I can tell you have not went and studied who the man. See, what y'all don't understand, I'm not going to give you the whole pie. I'm not going to give you the whole pie. I'm going to give you breadcrumbs so you can go find the book. You can go find the article. You can go find the information. I can't give in 1 hour and 30 minutes. I'm not able to give you everything. I'm not able to give you. I'm not able to give you everything. So call it. But then if you looked him up, write his name right. Dude, this game right here. But Gary, you got to get this, Gary. If y'all ever be over with a family, I know you just tuned in. You got to get this. Oh no, not that mess. You got to get this We the People. Unbelievable resource. Y'all just sit up. Because what I'll do, I'll give you hints about stuff. Like what they did. They was just giving me one hint. Like if I tell you, I'm getting sick and tired of being sick and tired. And you also, that's Fannie Lou Hamer's favorite thing. Then, but it wasn't on the thing. I just said it. I just told him that. And then, what's her name? Harriet Tubman. I messed them up because I guess what I did? I gave her real name. Harriet Arminta Ross Tubman. Araminta. Everybody don't know. They just say Harriet Tubman, but she had another name, Araminta Ross Tubman. And I said that, did nobody know it? Then I said it, conductor of the rest. Then everybody knew it. Had felt bad being 58 and not knowing black. And you know what? I didn't feel bad. Because Johnny, I just learned, Johnny, it's a lot of this stuff I'm learning. That's why I'm so excited to share it. Because we old, man, and a lot of this stuff they didn't teach us. And they don't want our kids to know. So guess what? Everybody need to go get that game. I don't know how you get it. But it's a great game. King Sticks. Yeah, that's all right. All right, look him up some more. You need to look him up some more. That's the baddest man in the world. And Lakeisha said she loved left, right, and center. Then who else said left, right, and center is the best game? Go $3 can get you paid. Boy. See, you don't know about it. Dude, that's the first time I've heard of that damn game before. But I saw how that thing started piling up. I said, what the hell? Oh, they done caused some fights before? I didn't know that. Okay, I didn't know that. But We the People, don't forget that. But I'd like to say to y'all, if I was to tell y'all Habari Ghani, what would you say back to me today? If I was to say Habari Ghani to you, see, I'm learning, y'all. I'm learning, and I'm going to let y'all going to have to learn with me now. Habari Ghani. What would you say back to me? That's why I was asking, have Alfio got on the feed yet? I've been Googling ever since. Thank you. See, that's all I wanted you to do. So, Ivan Pettit. Freidman said can get heated. Hold up. How can it get heated, Kevin Freidman? It didn't get heated. Well, maybe somebody got mad. Give me a reason for it to get heated. Give me a reason. So I ain't going to play it if people going to get heated now. Because they didn't get heated. I don't think they got heated. No, they didn't get heated. They like one person, when they got out, they got mad. But tell me how you can get heated. But if I say Habari Ghani to you, what would you say back to me? Picking up the dice. What you mean by picking up the dice? I don't know what you mean. Those dice be loaded? Wow. Okay. Man, I ain't gonna lie. I enjoy watching the game. I didn't play. I just said, damn, that's interesting. It was cool to me. It was fun to me. I didn't know it get heated. Wait, maybe I just around some cool level-headed people that didn't mind losing some dollars. Now, if you around some people that, but yeah, okay. It's according to the people you're around. Okay. Um, cousin snatched $1 out of, they was probably drunk. Well, then don't play it when you're drunk, then, y'all. All right, let's not do it. Hold on. Okay. All right. So when I said Habari Ghani, nobody gave me a response. Wow. So guess what? All of us gonna learn today. I learned this about about 2 years ago. It's about Kwanzaa and how it starts the day after Christmas and Kwanzaa. But when a person said, this is the second day in the Kwanzaa principle. Yesterday was Ujima. I think, yeah, something like that yesterday. So today is Kuji Chagalia. Kuji Chagalia as a Kwanzaa principle. Yesterday was about unity. The day is, so whenever somebody say to you, especially if you go up north, especially you go like to the shrine of the Black Madonna in Houston, if you go, somebody say Habari Ghana to you, they're asking you, what's the good news? That's all it means. Habari Ghani. What is the good news? And when somebody asks you what's the good news, Habari Ghani, you respond to them by giving them the Kwanzaa principle of the day, which today is Wednesday, and this Wednesday is called Kuji Chagalia. This is the self-determination principle, which asks us to define ourselves, name ourselves, create for ourselves, and speak for ourselves. I'm going to repeat that one because a lot of us are letting other people define us and naming us and creating for us and speaking for us. Oh, that's why I got to share this thing with y'all. Yes. Oh. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord. Thank you. Hold up, y'all. And yesterday, I want to find the one from yesterday because I want to get the thing right. From your Moja. That was yesterday. Okay? Your Moja was yesterday. It meant unity. Today is Kuji Chagalia. Frank. This is the self-determination principle, which asks us to define ourselves. So that's why I take up for my brothers and I take up for my sisters on this show. Now I'm gonna get on your ass now because that's how we do this. This is a community, this family. If you ain't right, that's my job over here. You know, Coach, y'all got to realize, Lakeisha, Melvin dudes can say whatever they want to. But guess what? Ultimately, people gonna come back and say, this Robert had a show, and I'm known in a few more places. You follow me? So that's my responsibility. But hold up. And I like to share this. But think about this now. Think about this. This principle today. See, hold up, Alfio, Habari Ghani. See, I got my man on there. Habari Ghani, man. Watch Alfio. Watch it. Come on, Alfio. Type fast. See there? he copied and pasted. Look what he just said. What did I just say? See, I know. See, it's not enough for just me and Alfio to know it. I want all of us to know it. Self-determination, to define and name ourselves. That's why they'll call you out. That's why you don't worry about nobody calling you the N-word. Can't define you and call you who you are. That's why people call you out your name. No, they can't. They don't define you. Name yourself. They can't name. See, that's what I tell people. You are what you answer to. It ain't what they call you. It's when you start answering them. You follow me? Name yourself. Define yourself. Name yourself. Create for ourselves. We don't need nobody. We got our own show. That's why I be telling y'all be worried about and go and watch it and worry about everybody. But this your own show. Create for yourself and speak for yourself. That's why I allow y'all to speak for yourselves. But now if you put it up there now, we gonna say something about it. Well, I just want my comment up there and I don't want nobody to say anything, Robert. Don't have it that way on Chop Shop. But thank you, Alfio, man. I appreciate you for that. But ladies and gentlemen, this is the last Wednesday of the year. Okay? Last Wednesday of the year. Wait a minute. Somebody readjust my camera. Welcome to the Chop Shop. On Wednesday, this December 27th. And that 27th is a significant number because, yes, folks, it happened again last night. 27 straight losses for the Detroit Pistons. December the 27th, 27 straight losses for the Detroit Pistons. Wow. Just wanted to share that with you. Women Rock wins, I got to show y'all something. It's kind of touched me a little bit. But I want to ask, I saw where Color Purple was the largest Christmas Day opening for a film since 2009 and the second biggest Christmas Day opening of all time. And what did you think of it? I didn't go. What did you think of it? Talk to me. Tell me what you think of it. I got y'all. I got y'all, Kevin. Celie in this movie is a protagonist of The Color Purple, and she looks. And the book is told through a series of letters. In case you didn't know, that she writes to God, and she survived an immense amount of abuse from the men in her life, including her stepfather, and eventually finds love with a jazz singer named Shug Avery. That's to sum the movie up. And I don't know, I haven't been to see it yet. Heard some things about it, and I don't know if I'm going to see it, because me and musicals and a movie, if I go to a movie and they singing too much, I'm going to fall asleep. I'm just going to tell you about me. But I just wanted to see what y'all think of it, since it's Women Rock Wednesday, about The Color Purple. And I saw this because we're always talking about athletes this and athletes that and athletes this. But I saw this unique Laura Coates, CNN contributor. And she, let me make sure. Yeah. Check this out. This kind of touched me. It's Women Rock Wednesday. This touched me.
Well, I want to leave you all with something special tonight, and something personal. Now, you know I never show my kids, but this time I think you'll understand why I will. Every parent knows that feeling when you watch your child watching the world. You want to see their reaction, all of the emotions. Well, my plan was to watch my son, Adrian, watch his favorite basketball player, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Favorite because of his game and his personal journey and his unparalleled humility. Now, I was lucky enough to get seats in Madison Square Garden on the day the Bucks were playing the Knicks, and unbelievably lucky to even have floor seats. Now, for the teenager in me who wore the number 3 in honor of John Starks, it was a dream come true to just be inside of the Garden. Now, as mommy, I couldn't take my eyes off my son watching the game, twinning in a matching jersey with his favorite player. For me, that was enough. Hell, it was more than enough, because who am I to be on the floor of a Knicks game? For my grateful son, it was enough to be in the room, to get a high five from the gracious players as they checked into the game. And when he was able to touch one of their NBA towels, I thought the boy was going to float away. Until the moment that came after the game, when my heart leapt out of my chest and I would need that NBA towel to dry my tears. Because Giannis motioned for my son to come onto the court. He took off his game shoes, he signed them, and he handed them to my son. And he even wished him a Merry Christmas. And you can see my son, he's grabbing his head, trying to even process this moment. They say that you never want to meet your heroes. I mean, I've met some of mine, and well, I wish I hadn't. But here was my son, standing next to his. And Giannis, he just saw a kid and remembered what it was like to be one. It's funny, because my son woke up with a start later on that night. And he asked me to see the pictures on my phone, because my baby boy thought that he dreamed it all. And you know what? I feel like I did too. Well, I want to leave you all with something special tonight, and something personal. Now, I never show my kids.
Y'all, let me tell you something. I know I got y'all questions up there. That's the impact sports can have on young kids. That's the impact. And see, that's the responsibility as an athlete, because these babies are watching you. That little boy just didn't. That little boy didn't know what the hell to do, man. Can you imagine? Your mom get a chance to even put you in that position. See, it's just, I'm telling you, it's deep. It's deep on so many levels for me in my life. And when I was a little boy, I went to the Memphis Tams games, ABA game. And I got a chance to meet Larry Finch. He's a hero, Memphis. University of Memphis, Melrose High School. I got a chance to meet him. And everybody wanted his autograph. I just wanted to shake his hand. And ever since I was a kid, I never wanted anybody's autograph. But I looked him in the eye and just said, look, man. And later on in life, how would I know that he is demanded as coaching University of Memphis, and being the coach of my first client ever. It's just he was. It's just unbelievable, man. When I think about that moment, and I just thought about the goosebumps, because I don't have goosebumps about people now, because I've been around a lot. So I don't really have goosebumps when I meet nobody now. You know what I'm saying? I just don't, But that moment there, it kind of got to me. It kind of got to me, and it took me back, y'all. So that's why I got a little, I ain't gonna lie, I got a little teary-eyed a little bit. See, he said his dad is, my son just told me yesterday I was his hero. I said, wow, it's yesterday. He's in town. Hung out with him yesterday. And the kid been all over the world too. And I'm his hero. It's powerful, man. It's powerful. What we put in our kids. Oh, this is going to be a great show. This is going to be a great show. Hey, Ruth, how you doing? This is going to be a great show. He said, my dad introduced me to everybody that I thought was somebody, even yourself, Mr. Hatter. Wow. See there, I remember when I first met you when you was a little youngster. I remember that petty joint over there trying to think, dunk on somebody. But this is amazing, man. I mean, that Sonny, I mean, Lori Coates, because I've been following her career. She's a lawyer for a long time, and then she was on Sirius XM, and now she's on CNN. So it just being and watching her and learning from her, and now seeing that situation with her and her son. Somebody asked me, question Hatter, with the Pistons losing, what does that do for the young players like Cunningham and others? What does it do for their mental savvy? What you think? Well, you're going to get over it because, his teams has lost these games before. Philadelphia, in, I think, 2015, lost 26 straight games. You'll get over it, man. You'll get over it. You got to be a professional. That's the professional part of the game. That's why it's called a professional basketball association. This ain't the little kid down the street, Johnny, that you got it's going to mess up. If it mess up your mental psyche, guess what? Your ass going to be in the G League or overseas or at Home Depot. So, in the NBA, it means to me no boys allowed. So, you got to put on your big boy pants. And let me tell you something. I watched the game last night. Johnny. All you have to do, Johnny. Johnny, block out. Get that rebound. Get this. Johnny, they won. They was winning that game, Johnny. Let me go there. I'm glad you said something. I'm gonna skip around because I'm glad you brought that up, Johnny. This is what I love. See, what y'all say is way more important than what I'm talking about. I'm going to skip over everything that I was about to say. I'll go back to it later. But remember this. In this game, Johnny, it was unbelievable. In this game, Detroit was up 9-1 at the start of the game. Okay? Start of the game, up 9-1. Hey, Ruth Thompson is in the building. Y'all, let me, hold up. This Women Rock With. See, I started the show without 5 women because I made the show so important. I didn't have to wait. But my women in there, man. They in here. But Detroit was up 9-1, Mindy, and they had a 14-point lead at one point. They had a 97-92 lead in the fourth quarter. And then got outscored 18-0. And when the dust settled, they done lost again, setting an NBA record for consecutive losses, 27 straight games. They are in Boston tomorrow night, and then on Saturday they play at home against Toronto. If they lose the next 2 games, y'all, they would have lost. They would have gone winless for the whole month of November and December. Something I didn't think I would ever see. You follow me? But we are seeing it right now. And they played their tails off, man. But they played dumb as a box of rocks. I got you, Frank. I think I got some. I'm going to show you some, y'all. I'm going to show you some. Let me show you some. Did I please tell me I put it? Watch this, y'all. This James Wiseman, a former University of Memphis, former kid from Memphis, won state championships and everything. This what lose basketball games. Okay, watch this. Just what y'all watch.
Ivy working against Thomas. Shot it.
Let me unmute this, and I pushed on pause. I want y'all to see something. See, you have to give the ball room enough to play. In other words, get your ass out the way. And I got something for you. When in doubt, spread out. Watch what James Wiseman up under the basket in the dark color does. Watch. He clogged up where the young man was going. Not reading the play. Watch this. Look what happens. Kate Cunningham, who was hot, right there wide open. Guess what he does? Take a contested, ugly ass left hand jump hook he ain't made ever.
The rebound goes to the left, no good.
Then you wonder, I like to play y'all this so y'all can watch what your son's doing when they playing and their coach sitting their ass on the bench because they know they don't supposed to be. This is a pro. Don't understand basketball, and I know he been taught the game. But let me tell you something. People can teach you and people can teach you, but you got to get something. It's a two-way street. You got to learn. You got to grab some out of it. He said, my two eldest boys almost brought tears to my eyes when they were FaceTiming their friends bragging about me. Thank you, being their dad. Absolutely. Absolutely. And let me tell you something, son. I can tell, King Sticks, serious, nothing against you. You ain't never been around an NBA player, too many, or close to him. You said they probably don't care anymore. They just out playing for stats. Let me tell you something. See, y'all, when people say stuff like this, you know that they have never been around a professional athlete in any capacity. I ain't talking about seeing them in the park, seeing them. I'm talking about when it's over. You know, you don't know what's going on in these people live to sit up here and say they playing for stats. No, but it takes 5 people to be on the same page at all times. The coach made some, let me tell you something. Who was that getting on the coach yesterday? And I was taking up for the coach, whoever it is, man, I apologize. Because he was making some dumbass, boneheaded ass moves last night. Yes, I got to tell you, this is a professional, he's a big boy. He was making some bonehead ass moves. Who was that complaining? Oh, Eric Barnes. He was complaining about how much the coach getting paid. But King Sticks, guys care. They just don't know. It's hard. King Sticks, I can want. Kate Cunningham had 45, 43 points. Tell me he don't. So guess what? I need everybody else. I need James Wiseman to get out the way. I need for you to drop a better play than have Alex Burke shoot a wild ass three. And when you should have gave it the ball to Kate Cunningham, let him get to the hole, then foul again. Big coach said, man, I remember. Let me see. When I met Penny the first time at the Met, I went home and came back with all my Penny. Oh, he gonna sign it off. That's coach. Coach, that's what it's about, man. We already know about the Jared, everybody. Yeah, Sean Payton. It's a reason why they're doing that. Rodwell, putting Russell Wilson would not play the last 2 games, and they still got a chance to make the playoffs, but he won't play because if he get hurt, they on the hook for all that money, and they trying to figure out how to minimize their hit, their cap hit for. They're gonna get hit regardless. But that's a business move by Denver Broncos. Ain't got nothing to do with Russell. You know, Russell just didn't pan out, and Ray got a new coach, so they try to get a new quarterback. What else? What was I? So let me finish talking about these Pistons, so y'all can understand the gravity of the situation. But what we're seeing right now with the Pistons, like I said, they played hard. How do they sustain playing that hard? How? Kate Cunningham was non-existent, though, in the first half and then dominated the second half. Brooklyn didn't want to lose to this team, man. You should have saw it. Brooklyn was playing hard as hell. They said, I'm not finna be the one. Can I put it in perspective for you? Let me put it in perspective for you. Brooklyn, I'm going to put it, no. I'm talking about the Pistons. They are 4-50 over their last 54 games. Remember, Coach got fired last year for getting his ass tore off. So he got half of them losses. They are 4-50 over the last 54 games. How long will this last, y'all? I got a question for y'all. I got a question. I got a question. I got a question. I got a question. Boy, this a long ass note. Let me read this note. That's awesome. What's awesome? I get it, but personally, I think it's unfair putting that kind of pressure, oftentimes unwanted pressure on these boys to men. What are you talking about? Clearly, it's great if when they embrace it, but if they don't want it, it should not be for. What are you talking about? Are you on the same show, Crystal? What What are you talking about, Crystal? What's your context here? Did y'all see this long ass note? Hold on, let me show it to y'all. Cause I don't know what Crystal's talking about. Look at this. Let me let me put it up there for y'all to see. Clearly, it's great if and when they embrace it, but which means parents, that would be mom and dad, need to step out and do the job and explain to their offspring why the athlete he or she may or not be the best for. We ain't even talking about this topic. I know this is a topic for another. Okay, oh my God. But I'm just saying, I recall Barkley back in the day not wanting the responsibility of Nike commercial, and it wasn't he spent the Nike money. However, it is great at touching to see the little boy meet his idol. Oh, okay. And go with that. Yeah, that was. I'm glad you put soapbox. Crystal, I own Crystal. Crystal. Okay. Crystal, you threw me for a loop on that one. Crystal. Crystal, imagine you being me. And you get up here talking about something else and that pops up on the screen. But let me get back. I got a question for y'all. What do y'all think the Pistons say to each other when they go in the locker room? Trey Phillips, what would you say to your teammates? Y'all just lost 27 in a row, NBA history. Oh, y'all got the record. What do you say? Y'all were, excuse me, at the beginning of the season, did I tell y'all they were 2-1 in the beginning of the season? 2-1 to start the season. They were rolling. That man said, what club they about to hit? No, I don't think they saying that. You know what, though? I'm going to share this with y'all, and I'm going to leave the Pistons alone. Funny thing of the Pistons, a game was when the Cade was unconscious and scoring on every single possession. Then they were down 5 with 38 seconds left. The Pistons called a timeout and ran a play to get Alex Burks a contested 3. $80 million for Monty Williams might have been a whiff higher. "38 seconds left. You down by 5. Cade Cunningham couldn't nobody stop him. Give him the ball, let him get to the hole, call a quick foul. A foul real quick. 38 seconds, that's a lot of time. I got a question. In the beginning of the season, when we was talking about our teams we lacked, and I know Kevin Freitman finna lie, did anybody said OKC was going to be this good? Johnny said, come on, man, we better than this. I like that. Players only meet. Who you blame? 27 straight games. Trey Phillips, you'd have been on a losing streak. Let me find my coaches on here. Who been coaching? Roof, you ever coach? Kevin Allen, you the coach. What's your longest losing streak? Eric Boone, Kendrick Lewis. Y'all talk to me. Kevin Fraber, Gary Carter. I'm going down. What you say? Wow, he was at PV. PV couldn't win a game to save their life. How was it, Johnny? I was at PV when the streak was happening. How was it? How was the school? How was it? How was it? Wow. That's a huge losing streak. Either those players have checked out or they are not a team playing together. Dude, I saw it last night. They ain't. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Jesus. The basketball IQ. Hey, Trey. Let me show you why they're losing, Trey. Hold on. Let me show you. This is why they're losing, Trey.
Ivy working against Thomas. Shot erased by Shaw.
Come back, Trey, and pause. Trey, Ivy got the ball in basketball, Trey. And it's just one play. I got a million more. I just think we'll be all day. In basketball, you got to get the ball up. Stay your ass out the paint when this guy got an ISO over here, but two people on this side of the ball. Y'all on the strong side, but guess what? Y'all got three people on the opposite end of the court. It's barbecue chicken right here. I be going to the hole on this dude. I know that. You should know that. If your son don't know that, he should know that. It's called barbecue chicken. I'm finna take this boy's behind. And he all up there on me like that. So watch this. Trey, watch James Wiseman. Now he out of bounds in the dunk spot. Stay there. But guess what he do? Run his ass up in there. Watch this. Right in the man's way. Basketball IQ tell you Kate is hot. You try this ugly ass hook shot, you ain't made in 100 years. Just throw that shit up there. Are y'all following me? That's why they losing. They do something like this every game. And then y'all, I want to saw this. I'm just going down my list. I'm going down my list because some people, you know, what's wrong with us? What's wrong with us? I saw this, right? Kanye West apologized to the Hebrew and Jewish community for unplanned anti-Semitic outbursts. Okay. Y'all see this? Y'all call him Kanye. I'm going to call him Kanye. Sorry, y'all know I don't call people by their name, but I'm calling his actions Kanye. Mindy. He called slavery a choice. Disrespected Malcolm X, Harriet Tubman, and Black history. Wore a White Lives Matter t-shirt and a Ku Klux Klan hood. Embraced Donald Trump, Nick Fuentes, and other anti-black white supremacists. Yet he has no apology for black people. But they post this article. I'm gonna just leave that there because I like to give y'all something to think about. Shout out to Texas State. Never been to the college. Don't know. I passed. I think it's in San Marcos. I went to the outlet a couple times. Never been to the college. A lot of friends of mine went to the college. Shout out to them. First bowl appearance and win in the program history. They were so happy to be there. They drank the stadium dry halfway through the third quarter. They drunk up all the liquor and beer on their side of the beer, I guess, on their side of the field. And then went on the other side and drunk all the people beer on the SMU side. On the other side. They stormed the field, had the largest attendance of any SMU home game I've ever had at Ford Stadium. Legendary showing by the Bobcat. Shout out to them. Did y'all hear what I just said? Texas State side of the SMU, Gerald Ford Stadium, was out of beer with 12 minutes left in the second quarter. It was called the First Responder Bowl. It was a bowl game. Once halftime hit, the Bobcat fans had ransacked the right side of the stadium. There wasn't a drop of booze on the premises 5 minutes into the third quarter. Wow. Y'all gonna get a bowl game again soon. And I want to see that anything yesterday that I didn't talk about, I missed it. No, I didn't. I got everything. But let's see where I want to go. I had a unique call after the show was over with yesterday. But I'm going to take a quick break and talk about, I told you to share with y'all my favorite restaurant on the planet Earth. What is my head is right here.
A cigar, best thing for your palate. We have fancy cognacs, bourbons, and tequilas. So there's cigars that go with every drink.
His job of being an aficionado is equivalent to being a sommelier, a wine expert. And so a lot of people come over here and they order food from next door, which is we're a Cajun Creole restaurant, and he'll match up a stick with it. We're just providing a place for people to come and socialize in a rich environment. And we're in a growing area, and we think it's time for this area to have something like this.
And yo, and I think I'm getting sick and tired of this media. And I don't like how they handling John Morant. They won another game last night. They 4-0 since he get back. Instead of us celebrating him, at another win, they won 4 in a row. The Grizzlies basketball is back. But instead of celebrating his accomplishments, for the love of God, he wasn't doing air pistols or bazooka. He was doing this dance, this New Orleans dance. He was in New Orleans. Folks got to chill. I'm not going to play you some of the videos. These damn fools like Lou Williams. Let me say, I wish you would have mentioned, hold up. Okay. Okay. People texting me. You know, I'm trying to see where to start. You know, they got this podcast with who they got, Chandler Parson, Michelle Beadle, and then they had Lou Williams. They had to get one of us. They had to get one of us. And they talking about the NBA is watching. Don't do anything that got anything with on firearms, my brother. Stop it. That's what Lou Williams said. You lemon pepper wings eating ass. You leaving the bubble, risking everybody's life to leave the bubble and go down. But you want to talk about Ja Morant. Then Chandler Parson with his money stealing behind. Yeah, I remember Chandler Parson back then when you was accidentally let her see your open a top up, let her see your breast, a strange woman. This same Chandler Parson, but what else got to happen for you? And I'm gonna show y'all what happened for your family and your friends to learn. This is what Ja Morant did, y'all. That's what Ja Morant did. Everybody just fucking going crazy. I'm just getting sick of it. I'm getting sick of it. Hold on, let me see what did he? Let me see. Let's try this one. That's the dance. Hold on. This is the dance he was mimicking. This is the game Ja Morant was mimicking. Okay? These two kids right here. Louisiana, Baton Rouge type dance. Okay? So he in New Orleans last night. I'm going to keep going. Let me see. Let me see what about this. Hold on. Let me see what this one did.
Brian Wright with the graphics, Joe Balmos with the replays, and Jason Boyer.
What 12 can do with that type of pass.
Tonight's game produced by Scott Zachary, directed by Tom Hewitt. Brian Wright with the graphics, Joe Balmos with the replays, and Jason Boyer.
What 12
by the way, he had his
fist.
He had his fist pointing, not a gun. He didn't do this. Then they talking about he had a bazooka. You know, I'm just getting pissed off. Then they always gonna have one. That's why I love this show. Because ain't nobody gonna tell us what to say on this show. Watch this dance. But if we let them paint a picture of our athletes, that's why I'm going to always fight for HBCUs, your sons, your daughters, because ain't nobody else going to fight for. Because they're going to pay somebody like a Lemon Pepper Lou to come on there and all of these, I told you, all of these black faces in white spaces saying whatever these people paying them to say. Here another one. Y'all understand me? And we got to stop it. That's why I'm so pissed off the other day when I'm sitting here talking about a black coach's accomplishments. When I hear about these white coaches' accomplishments, I don't never hear them talk about. I saw something the other day. Where are my glasses? Because I put it up. I'm gonna put it up. It just kills me. Can we be great? Frank Frisella. He taking up for his white friends. John Shire. would get criticism the way I saw Jay Wright, another white coach, Tom Izzo, another white coach, Scott Drew, another white coach, did in their early careers. I saw them all improve drastically. He's on the same path of success. This how they see each other. They don't see us like this, but this how they see each other. Why can't we see each other like that? Did this man mention any one of they black assistants? Hell no. We the only damn race. Other day, I'm talking about the accomplishments what Memphis did. And we got people coming on here talking about, well, he got Rick Stansbury as the assistant coach now. Shut the hell up. We weren't talking about no damn Rick Stansbury. I think we the only race to do that. Because we don't love each other. Look at Francis Fasilla. He taking up for his. When y'all gonna start taking up for y'all's? They ain't talking about, Robert, they get mad at me yesterday. Robert, you keep taking up for the, you keep taking up. Yes, I'm gonna take care of him. Yeah, I'm gonna take care of him. Yes, cause he black. Hell yes. I ain't unapologetically gonna tell you yes, that's yes. Monty Williams, yes, he made a dumbass call last night in the game. But guess what? I'm going to support him. Because all coaches made bad calls. When are we going to stop? We're always trying to one-up somebody. I don't care what Ja got to learn. Ja ain't went to jail. Ja ain't got no case. I mean, a penitentiary time. Ja ain't did a damn thing. But broke NBA rules. Archaic ass rules. Ja ain't got to do nothing but die and stay black. That's the only thing he got to do. Sick of them. Worry about what y'all got to do. No, they need to leave him the hell alone because they don't. I'm adding their ass every time they talk to him. That's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to sit on this show and say something on this show, but you should have asked Chandler Parsons sorry ass, Michelle Beadle sorry ass, and Lou Lemon Pepper Wings sorry ass. That's who you mean. Don't be telling John what he need to do. It's them. Told y'all early in this show. Y'all late. I started off the show, McKenna Singers. I said Habaragani. Most people didn't know what it was. I didn't know what it was until last year. Habaragani, all it's saying is a Kwanzaa saying that means asking, what's the good news? And when somebody tell you Habaragani, you supposed to give them the Kwanzaa principle of the day. The Kwanzaa principle of today, yesterday, was Umoja, meaning unity. Today, the Kwanzaa principle is Kujichagulia. Guess what it means? The self-determination principle, which asks us to define ourselves, not Chandler Parsons defining Ja Morant. Not Michelle Beadle defining Ja Morant. Name ourselves. Create for ourselves. And speak for ourselves. That's why I unapologetically speak the way I speak and don't care. Unbossed and unbought. I'm gonna take up for Ja Morant. Some people find it offensive. You always taking up for Penny. You always taking up for James Harden. Yeah, I know them. I love them. I know them. You always take, yes. Yes. And I take up for you too. But y'all scare ass, all y'all want to do is get that and talk about each other. But when one of these folks says something, y'all ain't gonna act them, but you'll get on this show and make all kind of crazy ass comments. Look at that. Perfect example. The same way Rick Pitino can still get a coaching job and his black assistants go to jail and get rehired and protected, and we get incarcerated. Because of y'all let it happen. Y'all still send y'all goddamn black ass kids to it. I'm sending to Rick Pitino. I'm sending my son to John Shire. I'm sending my son over there to him. I loved you, Bryce Jew, whatever his name. But yeah. Sometimes we got to hear it, man. I told y'all it's two structures going on. It's the governance structure. I mean, it's the social structure. That's how they see us. Because they see us a different way than we see each other. And the governance structure. Our problem is we got to start seeing each other better. Now, hell, I'm talking about Penny having a great year and the black ass dude come on this thing and talking about the damn assistant coach that just got there and the man that won 20 games in 5 consecutive years. That dude wasn't nowhere around. He was somewhere else. And you going to talk about his success? You mention his name. What's... Do y'all understand what I'm saying? Mastermind over there balling, doing everything he can do. Brother killing. We're a little Elmer over there helping him. Did Frank Fischler, somebody tell me, I'm going to put it back up there again. Did he put the assistant coach's name up there? Hold on. Did he say anything about the assistant coaches? Did he say anything about Jay Rice's assistant coach? Did he say anything about Tom Izzo? Did he say anything about he talking about them? I just don't understand us, man. And we don't even know we probably doing it. But when a brother like me tell you, y'all get mad at me. That nigga can't tell me what to do. I ain't trying to. All I'm doing is trying to show you a perfect example. If Big Coach is doing something, Lakeisha is doing something, and I recognize her accomplishment, why we got to bring somebody else? Well, O'Malley, Miss McGillicuddy helped her. Can't you just let Lakeisha be great? The only reason she's great, because she got a wife, the assistant coach. But Francis Schiller didn't say that. Hold on. See, this is how they do. Hold on, let me put that back down. Y'all gonna learn today. Y'all gonna learn today. He said John Shire. He didn't say nothing about John Shire's assistants. And I went back and seen it on the feed, right? Ain't nobody mentioned Jay Wright's assistants, John Shire's assistants, Tom Izzo's assistants, Scott Drew. Ain't nobody mentioned them. We the only race that allows that to happen. I can sit up here and talk about Jimmy. And y'all gonna tell me about Gasso. Gasso is all right. But I'm talking about Jimmy right now. I've never seen anything like it in the world. And I know I'm unapologetically black. Yes, certain guys I ride for. But I got a relationship with them. I ain't no fan. But we got to stop it. But what's up, Jimmy? I'm just talking about Chandler Parsons and Michelle Beadle and this other dude and then Lemon Pepper Wing Luke got his black ass on there and got to talking about John Morant throwing game shooting a gun and a bazooka, which was a lie. He was doing a dance in the New Orleans to that section because they was up dancing in the section. Go do your freaking homework like I did. Y'all talking about mainstream media, my ass. Go do your homework. Section 113. The people are up there dancing, doing the dance, and he was doing it back to him. But these folks, lazy ass, won't go do their homework and get on there and talk about something that they don't have no idea about what John Morant was doing. But guess what? I added all of them. Dad's gonna know today. But yeah, what's up, Jimmy?
Oh shoot!
Somebody said they glad you called out the schedule to some schedule. I don't know what schedule they talking about. You called out somebody's schedule. Jimmy, I'm glad you called out the scheduled tournament yesterday. Who? What? I don't know what they're talking about.
Oh, I think that's you guys get your shares in right now. It's time to share the show. It is 10 minutes past the hour. We're official on that back nine. The Chop Shop. We're grooving during these holidays. High school basketball is back in business. A lot of tournaments and events going on. I think the post about the schedule comes from
Where the tournament at?
Baytown Lee College, which Nick Wade is the head coach. He does a great job out there. But I think that tournament is based primarily on his campus. So I don't know who did the schedule, but I had a problem immediately when I noticed that Bel Air, who had just won the HISD tournament in dramatic fashion last Friday over Booker T. Washington. First round against Barbers Hill. And Barbers Hill, that Baytown area, it's not far away from Barbers Hill, but at the same time, Barbers Hill has been had their fair share of controversy. The young man with over the hair, the length of his hair going down past his collar and being suspended a couple of times this year. So they were playing each other first round. Bel Air's a 6A team just finding their way. Now understand, when they made this schedule, Bel Air had not won the HISD tournament, in all fairness. But however, if Bel Air we know Bel Air's team is good. They're good enough. Remember, they lost in overtime to Shadow Creek last month. This Bel Air team is good, just never had been able to get over the hump when it comes to winning that big one or a big one. Well, I figured this game, besides Thurgood Marshall, Barbers Hill is probably the second favorite team that can go to state in Class 5A. They can go to state. If somebody can get Thurgood Marshall out the way, and you have them playing Bel Air in a bracket, I mean, loser goes to the left, winner goes to the right. Didn't sit, And then I think the coach responded. It's something to the nature of, the teams come to this tournament, they want to get it in, and the coaches want to see how they've been doing over the holidays. Well, hell, if you want to see how they've been doing over the holidays, you should have went your ass over to Delmar and saw Bel Air play Booker T. Washington. That was over the holidays. That still has no reason to put those two teams first. That could be the championship game in that tournament. Actually, I looked at the schedule. 3 of the top 4 seeds of that tournament are in the same bottom half of the bracket. 3 of the top 4. Bel Air, Beaumont Westbrook, Cy Ranch, Barbers Hill. They're all in the bottom quarter of the bracket. Up at the top bracket, you got Goose Creek Memorial, North Shore,
Oh,
guys like
okay.
that.
So, yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay.
And you're messing your gate up. Messing the gate up. But I'm not mad at them. Just that ain't how you do tournaments. You want to try to make your gate. Make that game in Bel Air versus Barbers Hill is at 10:30 tomorrow. If you did put them teams in the first round, that should have been an afternoon game. Get your gate.
Evidently, they ain't worried about no damn gate.
You want a gate helps.
Yeah, but you said something.
Create an atmosphere.
Everybody ain't there. So guess what? Everybody might not be there. Everybody might not be. I'm talking about their mentally saying, I'm going to create an atmosphere. They just saying, look, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it on there. They ain't thinking about that. They don't care. You the way, but I would have looked at it and never been paying no attention. Because I don't think gate. I just say, oh, Bel Air playing, I'm going to see Bel Air. See, you look at the whole bracket because that's how you look at the game. A lot of us don't look at it that way. I know I don't.
But when making schedules, most people that put together,
I'm not a schedule maker. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. So for them to put the schedule together in that capacity, they are not necessarily thinking about gate, but if they're not thinking about gate, I tell you what they are thinking about. They're thinking about their expenses. So indirectly, you got to cover those expenses because in these type of tournaments,
what if they got sponsors already? They covered all the expenses.
Well, guess what? And the city of Baytown does extend money for that tournament. So but so that's a good thing. But at the same time, you want the ambiance. Necessarily, if you let everybody in free, and I say gate, I mean that goes beyond people that's paying. I meant people coming through there. So it create the ambiance. That game now would be a marquee time slot. Bel Air versus Barbers Hill. I don't care if you made it last month, if you made the schedule. You could have made it back in October. If you saw those teams play at the Super 16 extravaganza, then you would have known the type of punch, even though Barbers Hill played showcase games, they won both of their showcase games.
I got a question.
In convincing fashion.
It's not changed, right? And you talked to them about it, right? So evidently they don't care.
No, I didn't talk to them about it. I just saw it yesterday and that was done and I made a post.
Okay. I thought you talked to the coach about it. Okay.
No, he responded back. I didn't. It wasn't even an effort to change it because it's scholastic is a little bit different than non-scholastic games.
I got you.
Summer ball you can make a change. They change that thing, keep rolling. And then scholastic, they do a little scouting and everything, and it's more time, and you don't, let them go with it. So that was it on that. It's not a big deal. Coach Wade, he knows I got his back because he's winning and done great things out there. And that's just one of those deals that you can get better. And I offer it as a solution because for every problem, if you're going to address a problem, you should be willing to at least provide at least one possible solution. So I gave a solution. They can get me. I can put the schedule together for them next year. And I guarantee they won't have that problem. And it might save them some money, might be able to save them a little money or generate more gate in the process of doing so. So shout out to that. Speaking of games, right now, there's a few teams that are out of town playing. Atascocita won their opening game. They're in the Dallas Independent School District tournament that starts today, the DISD Classic. And also C. King is in that tournament along with Atascocita. Beaumont United is playing in Allen, Texas in their tournament. That tips off today as well. and Atascocita won their opening round game 44-26 over Red Oak. They won that game. Atascocita did. So shout out to the Eagles. They are
Where's
on their
Red Oak
winning.
from?
That's up there in Dallas, right outside of Dallas, if I'm not mistaken. Red Oak. And also today, Fur is playing open up action in the Texas versus Louisiana event that is taking place at Ridge Point High School. And Fur 75, McDonald, Louisiana 42. So Fur opened up a can of whoopers on McDonald in their opening win of that. As it stands right now, Elkins is in action right now against New Orleans Booker T. Washington High School, right? And I know Doug Jones is supposed to be on location over there, and he's been providing results from this all morning. And let's see, it should be, yes, end of the first quarter, Elkins 22, Booker T. Washington 8. And that is Louisiana's Booker T. Washington. Speaking of Booker T, Houston's Booker T. Washington is in Pine Bluff, Arkansas, where they are
King Cotton.
you know, the old King Cotton Classic. And I guess every year we have to remind people to go and Google the history of what King Cotton influences, or where it derives, or inspired, where it was inspired from in regarding to Arkansas. So Silsbee is also there in Arkansas, along with Booker T. Washington. So those fans think Pine Bluff is maybe about the same as going from Houston to Dallas as it is from Pine Bluff to Memphis. So a lot of the Memphis fans can make that about 2.5 hours, 2:45 drive, and over to Pine Bluff and catch Jared Harris in action. If you haven't seen him, he's part of this recruiting class from Memphis. And one thing about Jared Harris, that I'm not sure if the young fella Draylon Miller is playing or not. If he has yet to make his season debut with Silsbee, and he recently signed with Colorado in football. And if he's playing, then this gives a different dynamic to this Silsbee team, because I think that, for years, Jared Harris has fed off in their high school scene. He's fed off of Draylon, and Draylon knows how to get the best out of his buddy on the court. So I'm waiting on the word to see if indeed that Draylon Miller is making his debut or not at this time. No, he was recovering from a leg injury that he endured during the final playoff game back in November for Silsbee. So, but I'm looking for now. One thing about, speaking of Booker T again with Chris McDermott, this gives Chris McDermott one last opportunity to remind, because there are going to be a few national scouts that annually go to that's at least dip in there for a day in this King Cotton Classic. In previous years, I'm not trying to confirm who's there or not, but in previous years, there would be one or so that dip in there, and they'll patch that with other tournaments, maybe slide over to Dallas and patch it with something. But this is an opportunity for Chris McDermott to put his fingerprints and reintroduce himself to a lot of the people, a lot of the college coaches that'll be in attendance, if they are, and fans who have social media, imprints to go and ball out. Remember, last time I saw him play was this past Friday. He had 42 and 14. Although Booker T. Washington lost in the championship game with Chris McDermott, I didn't tell you guys yesterday, he had 42 and 14 rebounds in that game, which was fascinating, awesome, to say the least. But at the same time, all credit, we speaking of Bel Air, spoke of Bel Air a while ago. Sheldon Henderson was masterful. He finished with 30 in that win. Coleman Dutton, he came alive in that fourth quarter. Had kid, he's getting more and more confident playing on that leg after sitting out all of last season. Dutton was that X factor, and that's what I described him as, what he would need to be, because you got LJ Andrews, and he came up big when he realized down the stretch, and once Chris McDermott picked up that fourth foul, LJ went straight at him. And he kind of, gave some flashes of Junior Lofton down there near that basket. Once he got the grooving. This was the Bel Air team. If that quarter, if they can go back and just watch that quarter every day in gym period, if I was Coach Glover, I would show that film of that quarter. All you need is an 8 minute. That 8 minute stretch when they were down 15 points. They were down 13 to start the fourth quarter. Then Abraham Kirksey hits a layup and put Booker T up by 15. And then all of a sudden the bottom fell out for Booker T. But if they watch that, that's the team. Remember, do I think that Bel Air has enough to win 5 straight games in the playoffs? Nah, not right now. But they have enough to keep you from winning 5 games or advancing in the playoffs. That's how you look at Bel Air. Other teams that's out of town, I think Pasadena Memorial is in San Diego. They've arrived safely. So those people get a chance to see Robert Miller III and, of course, Chris Jones Jr., the 11th grader, the 11th grade sniper. See them in action. And also over at used to be called the Whataburger Tournament. They've changed that name to, I think it's the Champions Basketball Tournament. Whataburger must don't want, it's been a long run, but they must decide to either not provide their services of sponsorship in the capacity of a sponsorship, or the tournament directors may have wanted an increased role for Whataburger. One of the two, normally what leads to ending a name rights on an event. Well, Thurgood Marshall, who's undefeated and the favorite in 5A, they are in Dallas for what used to be, Mansfield, what used to be the Whataburger tournament, and that CBT, along with Hitchcock and Dickinson. They are up there as well. So we'll be having results of them. And I see, Williford, I slid up in there. You asked the question, could I give my opinion on those tournaments? And I don't have all of the brackets in front of me, but I do know that I'm rooting for Thurgood Marshall. I'm rooting for all of the local teams to fare well. But this Thurgood Marshall team, one thing they've proven, and they've quickly proven, is that winning the Super 16, losing those first 2 pool games of the Super 16 were fluke. They were a fluke. Remember, they lost them first 2 games by like 50 points combined. And then they have not lost a game together ever since. And this team has been rolling, and they're undefeated in the regular season. Guys just playing together. They bought in, and then if you bought in and you're guided by a Hall of Fame coach, which Ronnie Courtney is, he's the head coach that took Bush High School to the state. Before then, he's the high school coach that took Willow Ridge High School to the state. Also, he's the coach that took Texas Southern University to the dance. Ronnie Courtney, one of the very few guys that in the state of Texas that went to state, well, one of the very few guys in the history, probably the only guy in the history of this state that has taken a Division I team to the NCAA tournament and a high school team to the state championship, and has won a state championship. They'll go further than that. So it's Ronnie Courtney. Somebody asked him, looking at some of your questions. If you got questions on your high school stuff and some of this stuff going on, feel free to throw them up there right now. It is 29 minutes past the hour. We got roughly 30 minutes to go. Take it down here so we address some of the stuff. But we got to get you to share the show, if you will. Be so kind. Share this show to your pages, to your timeline. First question, I think somebody asked. Okay, I got that. And it says, how is Houston Yates doing? I think Yates, you know what? Yates has turned the corner. Yates right now, this team, they've got convinced a couple of additional football players who wasn't with them early on to join in. So it's a different type of camaraderie. It's a different, that atmosphere, and they won. Put it like this: Yates beat Wheatley this past Friday. It didn't count as a district game, but it was a championship game of the HISD tournament in their respective bracket. And they didn't just beat them. It's something about the hood when you score over 100 points and you get a win. That's what they used to call busting the clock, because back in the old days, the score clocks only had 2 digits. They didn't have 3 digits on the old score clocks back in the day. So when you get to 100, it would go back to 02 or 01 or 00 on the screen. And that what people would describe as busting the clock. So they bust the clock on Wheatley. And which is you know, I now the thing is about this Yates team, it don't get easier because this district is very, very, very hard. Think about this. Booker T. Washington's in the same district. They made it to the championship game and was up 15 in the fourth quarter before losing to Bel Air last Friday in the HISD tournament. That was the platinum bracket. Yates won the gold bracket. The team they beat in the gold bracket was Wheatley. Wheatley is also in the same district with Yates and Booker T. Well, let's go a step down. Fur won the silver bracket. They beat A-Leaf Elsick. Fur is in the same district with Wheatley, Yates, and Booker T. Well, in the bronze bracket, it was won by Cashmere. Cashmere knocked off Anahuac in overtime to win that bracket. Cashmere is also in the same district with Fur, Booker T, Yates, and Wheatley. One of those teams ain't but 4 teams make the playoffs. And you see, I gave you Fur's score. They beat the team out of Louisiana by 30 something this morning. And Fur has picked up a new transfer. He was eligible to play today. No, you got 15 days. And Davin Cross, he's an 11th grader, stands about 6'3". We haven't ranked in the magazine. Davin Cross started his high school, his new journey at Fur High School today. He's a huge addition to a team that's already filled with a bunch of 6'2", 6'3", and 6'4". So this district is very, very tough. Very tough. I know Silsby's head coach, Coach Sigler, he was at Delmar watching and scouting that action. It was a buffet for him. He got a chance to take one car ride and got to see all those teams in that district play in a matter of 4 hours. Got to see all of them play. Got mid-season scouts on all of those guys. So And meanwhile, we haven't seen the real Silsby yet because Draylon Miller has yet to play. So we'll get the with word if he's going to, like I said, if he's starting, but if he's starting today or not. But I know Silsby is indeed playing this afternoon. And no, they're playing right now. As a matter of fact, they're playing right now in Arkansas. So we're waiting on Booker T. Washington is the one that will play this afternoon, and Duncanville will play behind them. And them. Shout out to everybody that's just joined in on the Chop Shop, and we're just talking some high school basketball. I2 says, who is the top 3 5A teams here in the Houston area? The top 3 5. I kind of brushed over that earlier, and I'm going to, of course, Thurgood Marshall. Thurgood Marshall would be my first option. Barbers Hill right now would be second in regarding my second fiddle in Region 3 for all the 5A teams. And my third is where it get kind of fuzzy at. It would have been Madison. But Gambrell is out for the season. And in case you guys didn't know, Gambrell went down early. And so I'm going to probably roll with maybe Port Arthur Memorial would be my third fiddle in the region for 5A teams. Those are teams to watch. It's not a lot of thump in that 5A this year. It's just one of those years. However, that's not Thurgood Marshall's fault at all. They just got to play what's in front of them. And also, yeah, thanks, Rod Wells. Mickey Leland is in that district along with Booker T. Washington, Yates, Wheatley, Furr, Cashmere, and Wording is in that district as well. So Mickey Leland. And Mickey Leland beat Wheatley in a district game early last week. So Jay Jackson says, is there any good high school basketball games I can take my 8th grader to? In the morning, I'll post a lot of games to see. If you go into the VIP news on rcsports.com, we have some brackets and some previews that are posted in there right now. You can go inside there and get some, or you can go and follow. Of course, you can follow us on social media. But in the morning, I will have some of the top games to see. Now, today around the area, if for us games to see today, because there's a lot of stuff that starts tomorrow. Only a couple of them has actually started today. I'm trying to help you guys out. I know the private school classic that starts tomorrow. We'll talk about that as well. But today, the Texas and Louisiana probably is highlighting most of the action in the Conroe tournament is also taking place today out in Conroe High School, depending on what part of town you are favoring. But a lot of these right now, looks like Houston, say Texas, is up 2-0 on the Louisiana squads. I would think that Lancaster, that 5 p.m. Lancaster and George Washington Carver game, followed by Ridge Point and Landry, should be a nice double shot if you live near Ridge Point High School. I think that'll be good today. 2 options to go and check out. But once again, we'll have games to see on there early in the morning when you wake up, and that along with our projections on that. Also, any other question? I'm trying to think. Say what happened to Gambrell? He had a leg injury, and he's out for the season. Yeah, Gambrell. That info. King Sticks, we want you to get your VIP news subscription to RCS Sports, and that way you'll be able to stay on top of that type of stuff, man. We put that out a month and a half ago. But yes, he went down right before the Thanksgiving, right before, right around, it was right around signing date, right before the season started, as a matter of fact. If I'm not mistaken, Gambrell went down. And so but he's going to, good thing about it, he signed with Lamar. And so, he has his college, he has it secured at least through his freshman season. So that's why it's so important to go and lock some of these schools in if your options are very limited. Go ahead on and you can change your mind anytime. So that's in regards to that. Now, other action I want to remind you guys is that a lot of you guys that are watching the coaches, and I have a pet peeve of mine, and that is, it seems like a lot of high school coaches and grassroots coaches out there, you guys are trying to play every instrument in the band. And here's what I mean by that: is that you go and you try to do this, you try to do that, you're driving the van, you're picking up, you're paying for this, you're booking the rooms, you're doing all this, trying to do everything. And then trying to do everything, a lot of the things that are pertinently important, you forget to do, which makes other people's job harder. Here's the thing: a lot of you head coaches, many of you have the luxury of picking your assistant coaches. Well, in doing so, that means you pick somebody that you trust. Well, if you trust them, then why don't you delegate more authority, more task to your assistant coaches? That way, now you can concentrate on the things that you need to be concentrating on primarily. You can devote more time to family values as well. Delegate. And that's one of the things that I'm noticing that a lot of guys aren't doing. I've seen Booker T. Washington play the other day at Delmar in the championship game. Booker T. Washington had 6 assistant coaches, or 6 men dressed and appearing to serve in the capacity of an assistant coach. Put it like that. So after the game, I said, "Coach, send me the stuff." That should be the role of, and all the time, Coach Grayson to send me the stats because he goes and watch film. Now, he's one of the guys that actually watch film. He don't rely on your stats or mine. He's going to watch film, and they're going to stat the game. After every game they watch, they're going to stat that game, him and his assistants. And that's kind of the bonding moments from them. But my thing is, a lot of coaches, if you let the assistant coach do some of this stuff, meaning that one coach can be in charge of, for example, let me just come out with something. Here you go. Here you go. Let's say if you got 2 assistant coaches. Assistant coach 1, assistant coach 1, assistant coach 2. Let's say assistant coach 1, part of his task can be helping to bring his primary. Now you have the veto power as a head coach, but assistant coach 1 can help put your schedule together. Right? Get your schedule together. You on it first. Whoever you got home and home obligations with, circle it, give it to him. Let him help put the non-conference schedule together, or non-district. That coach number 1 can be in charge of uniforms, right? And so if he's in charge of uniforms, then that means he's in charge of roster, because that means the uniform numbers will go on the roster. Give that to that assistant coach number 1, because that's something that's very important. Remember, if you got the wrong jersey number in the scorebook, that's a tech. So let that first assistant coach be in charge and give him obligations. Otherwise, those guys, in that way, also they can get experience in different facets of being a head coach and running a program. That way, when they go into interviews, they can put it on their resume. They know they can talk about, I did this, I do this, I know how to do this. Not far by far, you did it. So one assistant coach one can be over the schedule, uniforms, roster, the assembly of the roster. I mean, typing it up one time, inputting it into Max Preps. That'd be that assistant coach's duty, right? The assistant coach also, since he's over the schedule and over the roster and over the uniforms, that way he knows what color numbers, white and black or light and dark. He does the inventory on that. That's assistant coach one, as I said. But he also, since he's over the schedule, he can be over the travel. Assistant coach one, you go and you get to travel. That way, if you're going out of town trips, if you got a tournament going on, you can go travel. Meaning, if you need to go out of town, you call and check the hotel. Let them know name. You in communication with the event director. Your assistant coach one is. That means now you're giving him a lot of things that goes into running a program. A lot of guys out there can coach. A lot of guys can recruit. But can they run a program effectively? Effectively. We got to empower them to do so. So then now, that same assistant coach number one, I ain't got the coach number two yet. Coach number one, he could be in charge, let's say, because that's off the court. All that stuff is off the court, we just said. Well, in practices, coach number one can be in charge of the offense. So that means now we can get to coach number two. Obviously, he can be in charge of the defense. It's like a head coach got the offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator. They have it in football. Why not have it in basketball? Certain coaches serve that same capacity anyway, right? So assistant coach number two can be over defense. Assistant coach two can also be over media relations. So now, when the games are over and the coach and they've looked at the film and they got the stats, the assistant coach two get those stats and he goes and he disseminate those out to his email block for media folk or boosters, alumni, social media pages. Assistant coach two can be over social media page as well. That's your function. You got to wax on, wax off before you try to go and get a black belt around your waist. Get in some work. So that means also that second assistant coach, let him be in charge. He's also in charge of the defense. During the game, let him be in charge of the bench. The bench players, that means they are extension. That's your crew. So your assistant coach is in charge of keeping those guys energized on the bench, reminding them to chant for their teammates, get everything fired up, get those guys and get one ready if he need to be ready, or you can smell if he's going to be ready because you had the coaches meeting. You know one guy that may be called upon and his time may be coming. So keep those guys hyped and amped and fired up on the bench. And then when the guy comes out of the game, and it's with his head down or his lip poked out, assistant coach number two, you in charge of the bench. So he comes sit by you. You put your hand on his kneecap, and you say, "Man, you refuel his tank, fire him back up. Come on now, this is what you did wrong. We saw that coach get on you. Let that go. Leave that play alone. It's on to the next one." This is an effective. This is how you create culture or extend and enhance your culture in the right direction. So now, that assistant coach number 2, that's a lot of work for him. And if you want to go and give him some other stuff, he can be the guy that schedules the practices, the times, or to get the word out, what time practice is going to be. Because a lot of people communicate with emails or text messages or block or text groups or whatever with their teams nowadays. Well, that coach can be the one because he's already going to do social media. He's already doing email blasts to the media. He's already, and also, hell, since he's doing those email blasts and the alumni base or the boosters, well, hell, he can also send an update to the principal and the athletic director every week on the progress of the program. Keep them involved. Hey, we won this team won that. They know it, but they'll see that. And you don't know because that athletic director that's your AD this right now, he could be an AD in another school district where you are interviewing for a job in 2-3 years. And do you get what I'm getting at? So now he will see, okay, I like that young man. That's why you never know who's reading or watching or paying attention to that. Those are little things that I really, really just some of the things that I recommend to every head coach out there at the amateur level, in the high school level I'm talking about, or grassroots basketball. And it transfers over to your grassroots guys. Stop trying to do every damn thing. Basically, what you're saying by when you're trying to do everything, you're indirectly saying, I don't trust him to do it. That's basically what you're saying. I don't trust him to do it, or I don't think he can do it, which is one and the same. If that's the case, why the hell you pick him as your assistant coach? That's the thing. Eric Baker say, where were all those assistant coaches when Booker T. Washington wasn't making the playoff? That's how it goes when you win, Eric. But Yates was the same way. Did you see how many coaches Yates had back in 2010? And back in 2012? Hell, one in 2010, if you guys don't remember, the principal of the school went and set his ass on the, rest in peace. He's passed away. He went and sit on the bench and was dressed just like one of the coaches. That's why I say they were dressed in the capacity or serving in the capacity as assistant coach. The counselor routinely served in the capacity of assistant coach at Yates. He resigned. Not resigned. I'm sorry. He retired last year. Mr. Dooley. Mr. Dooley was a permanent fixture on that bench. He served as counselor on the bench. He served as therapist on some of those kids. He served a hell of a capacity, but it was in game because I don't know if he went to the practices or not a whole lot, but in game, he was valuable to those guys. Kept them from losing their heads, kept them in check, was that calming voice of reasoning during times of need for a lot of those young men. Yeah. You win, they're gonna come. You win, they'll come. And Corey Willis say Hicks, who was the 6'9" guy from Seed King. We talked about him quite often on the Chop Shop. And that big fella right there, he's an unsigned senior. Believe it or not. He's an unsigned senior. And his name is Logan Alexander. Logan Alexander. He's unsigned. And when he feels like playing and going out the balls, I look at him from the defensive end first. He has some really, really good reaction skills. Meaning he can go after the ball, he can block shots, he can go after shots, he can change shots. He's a little frail, but that's what strength and conditioning coaches are for. if you claim you got a good strength and conditioning program, hell, give him a couple of cases of Ensure, put him on that iron, and let's see what his body gonna do. But this cat, he's too good or too talented as an unsigned senior for any JUCO out there or non-Division I school to ignore. He's too talented for any one of them to ignore. I'm telling you. Any NAIA, you don't ignore him as well. Don't ignore him as well. Mike Garcia said, any news on Robert's knee injury? Which Robert are you talking about, Mr. Garcia? Which Robert are you speaking of? And also, I'm looking at some of the questions right now. If you got questions, you can put them on the Boom Boom Room. You guys can give a share if you wish. We are closing in. Got about 5 minutes to go on the Chop Shop today. And yes, shout out, I saw that a while ago, touchdown, of course, look, drones from Virginia Tech. They're playing Tulane. That's Kyron Drones from Saddle Creek High School. And he is he's running the ball well as well. He's moving the chains, and they are winning against Tulane. Remember, Tulane was ranked in the top 20 for a good chunk of this past football season. And Virginia Tech, they are playing in the Military Bowl. As we speak, it's in the second quarter. It's just started, and the score is 10-7 in favor of Virginia Tech. So as we give shout out to Mr. Coach Drones, he's also always been a good supporter of the Chop Shop, as well as a coach on the staff of Shadow Creek for the football program as well. Remember, Kyron Drones initially signed with Baylor before getting in the portal and going over to Virginia Tech, and where he's been running things out there. A flatline season this year, 6-6, but they are in this bowl game, and he has a chance to wow some of the onlookers and some of the scouts. Think about it; he's only a sophomore right now. So Kyron Drones comes back next year, and when he comes back, he's about 6'2", 6'3", and he weighs about 230. So he's definitely going to be. He has a chance. There's a chance. You got to win in that ACC next year. So,
yeah, Jimmy, by the way, Coach Jones is at Clearbrook now. He's not at.
He left?
Yeah.
Okay, Clearbrook.
Yeah.
Clearbrook ain't bad. Tulane is threatening to score in this second quarter as they are inside the 5-yard line, but the quarterback fumbled the ball, and Virginia Tech covered. I mean, they recovered, I'm sorry. And on the first and goal at like the 2-yard line, and the quarterback from Tulane fumbled the handoff.
Good.
And it looks like Drones is about to take the field again. So I'm looking at some of the comments you guys got, and I'm thinking, he says, Jawan. Mike Garcia, I don't know which Jawan are you talking about. Jawan. He says Jawan. I give me the whole name who you're talking about. And okay. Thanks. Ms. Glover said this was his first year. So he's not the assistant coach over there. He's the HNIC over at Clearbrook. Okay, so Drones, okay, okay, now I can get that. That's a good pay raise right there. Yeah, you running the program, as we talked about earlier. Also, I mentioned I put those stats up earlier this morning on social media. There's been 21 bowl games entering this day that have been played. And of those 21 that had been played, there's no bowl game that had more attendance than the Celebration Bowl as it stands. And a lot of those bowl games, put it like this, if the Celebration Bowl only had 5,000 people there, people would make note and remind you of that. So I'm going the extra mile to remind you guys of how of how that narrative about we don't go to those games, we don't support, that's just certain cities. There are a lot of schools that roll deep in HBCUs with the Celebration Bowl. And so that brought the question on, should the Celebration Bowl winner be invited to the White House? Hella, should they be invited to the White House? That's the HBCU championship. That's the highest that those teams can get in a bowl game.
First of all, what's the White House criteria to who they invite? That's what you got to find out. What's the White House criteria on who they invite? And then you can go from there. We just can't come and say, shit, we got to go because of the black college. No, what's their criteria for inviting champions? Or do you recognize this as a championship? Because it's got to be on the White House call. It ain't got nothing to do with what nobody want.
No, well, the reason that it became a topic is because when the game was played in Atlanta,
Kamala Harris was there.
The vice president attended the
because
game.
She attended Howard. She went to Howard. She wouldn't have been there if Howard wouldn't have been there.
Yeah, maybe not. Absolutely. But they
didn't
say,
come last year.
If that game was good enough for you to attend, and that's
she's an alumni, Jimmy. That's why she went. That ain't had nothing to do with it. She's an alumni.
Well, that ain't the only reason that she went now.
Jimmy, she didn't go last year and the year before. That's why I'm saying
last year and the year before wasn't segueing into an election year, and you trying to galvanize fan base. That's another reason. Now they show up.
It's 2:00.
That's another reason. That's always an undercurrent. That's always the undercurrent. And you go there to get those people. You got primaries coming up, and that's it's gonna get rough and rugged and messy. Why so many people building bunkers? Matter of fact, good gracious,
got no money to build one. Everybody ain't building them. Everybody ain't building. There's certain people, but man, we got to get out of here, man. I'm people waiting on me right now. We'll see y'all tomorrow, and give y'all some more information about some of these games. But y'all, we'll see. You don't get no overtime today. We'll see y'all tomorrow. I'm out of here.
Yeah, we up out of here.
Okay.
Jim Hicks, Rob Hatter. You are now tuned in to the Chop Shop. I'm Retro. Let's get it. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. We live.